Hey everyone, welcome back again to another exciting episode of the Iconist podcast, where it always comes down to who the icon is. Ooh. Now you know how the name is about. Icon is. So on the Iconist podcast, once again, this is Barry 3D as Deep, Dark, Delicious. Hey! On my side, as always, is the one and only
DJ Rod C. It's me, people. We're here. Hold on. What's going on? I'm here. I'm having fun. We're realizing we're doing this live, people. We live up in here. Let's use this one. Yo, I'm live up in here. Let's go. Let's go. Up in here.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. And you know the rundown. I mean, we went through our March Madness just before. So thank you for holding on to that. We brought on a lot of guests over the past couple of episodes. We're going to have more guests coming up, but it was just our March Madness. And now we are in April and we're kicking off April. April's the fourth month and we're representing the 4, whatever has 4 in it. And you'll see what I mean by a minute. If you've seen the beginning of the episode, obviously you've seen the name, the title, you have an idea who we're talking about. Before we get to that, let's just do the round table shout outs.
Let's do it.
Right on. So first and foremost, the man that makes us look so good on this screen, did our logos and all our merch media stuff, put it all together. The one, the only Jason Reese, aka
J-Bird.
J-Bird Digital Arts.
Let's go.
Jay, thank you. Thank you very much. So, if you need anything done by Jay, check out the link at the end of the video. We have our flow code up there. You can just hold up your smartphone, scan it. It's going to ask you to click on it, open your browser. You just say yes, and boom, all the links are there. You can find Jay, scroll down, you'll find Jay's link. And hit him up. Let him know you heard about it on the Iconist podcast. Good friend of the show, always comments on their videos. And for our fans, please subscribe, and share. We are trying to hit the 100 on our YouTube page, so this way we can get a vanity name, right?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. I don't want to be a number.
No number. No, please, no, my friend. I don't want.
No number. I am a man, not a number. Yes, The Prisoner. Watch it, old school. For myself, Barry3D.com. Hey, now before you say Barry and you spell it with an E, it's Barry, not Barry. 2 different things. Barry3D.com. Find all the links for this show, the Iconist podcast. Another show I'm a part of called A Touch of Grey Matter, which is the other YouTube show I'm a part of with my comedy brothers, Zolf Ali, Thomas Patrice, who you've seen on the show, myself, one of the hosts of this show, and Dave Sokolowski, who was on this show too, who put that all together. We are the Canadian version of the Plastic Cup Boys or Blue Collar Comedy.
Let's go.
With variety.
A touch of variety.
With variety. And Canadian. So we're polite. Eh? Absolutely. And then we have to support the books, support the stores, support the books, and totally believe in that. And 2 friends of the show is one, Trevor from Montreal. So if you're any of our friends out in Montreal, please go out to Check Swings on Taschereau Boulevard.
Do it.
Look up the store. Support the store. You'll see our stuff in there. That would be awesome. Or for our friends here in Ontario, make the drive out to Kitchener. The weather's getting better. The roads are kind of nicer. Just be safe on the 401, and go out to Wow Comics, Warehouse of Wonders. Look up our boy Wes. And remember, no matter when you're doing that drive, always have on some music. Our boy Wayne Tennant, he's got his album on Spotify, so that's some good music. Look for, Curfew Flowers. That's the name of the album. And as I said, my driving jam is Vapors. That's the jam I'm sticking with. That's the jam I'm going with. Let's go. So you get that. Now you're doing your ride home. You want to hear something. You want to maybe listen to something about movies because you already listened to the Iconist podcast. So you check out our other friend, and that's Jimmy England. I always say English, but it's Jimmy England with his podcast, Back to the Balcony. So you can find that logo. It's the microphone on the red background. And he's got 2 seasons, probably kicking off season 3. I'm on a couple of those. It's a lot of fun. We review old movies with our points of view. And he's always gone on multiple different comedians on there. So definitely people to support and check out. Look them up. Thank you.
Yes.
So that's pretty much it for me. Rod, where can we find you?
I can be found on the internet, as we always say, or as I always say. You can find me on the Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at Mr. Rodc, MRRODC. And you can also find me on the Twitch at DJ Rodc. And for those who are just listening in, what is he doing? I'm just pointing to my logo right above me. That's where you can find me. Yes, Rodc. So listen, you can find me on there. When you come through the Twitch area, listen, just come through, hail me up. I'll hail you back. Listen, we're gonna have some fun on those times. Listen, I have a lot of fun. I play open genre, they call it the open formats. I'll play a whole bunch of different stuff. You like what you hear? Hit a follow. Let's have some fun. Shout me out. I'll shout you out. I'll say, I saw you on Iconic. Oh, you're great. I saw you on Iconic. And I'll shout you out. Let's do this. So listen.
Absolutely. And today, I know you're on there every Wednesday, right?
Every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm just flying in and having fun. Let's go.
Perfect. And you want to let Rod know you're there and you heard about it on the Iconics podcast. All you got to do is hashtag Saturday Love.
Saturday Love.
If you've seen me on there, you'll see the Iconics podcast is also on Twitch. We're kind of working on something there, but hashtag Saturday Love. He will know you heard about it on this show and what it means to me. So you've got a fan there. Hashtag Saturday Love. If you do that, I will even go this far. If you hashtag Saturday Love while Rod's playing on Twitch, take a screenshot, send it over to us on Instagram, the Iconics podcast on Instagram, or on our Twitter page, which is Iconis_PC, on our, and just send it over, and I will follow you back. I will make sure you're followed back and say thank you for that.
Here as well. This me as well.
Right. So there you go. Hashtag Saturday Love. Bonus points if you say who sings it. You get bonus points with me, and I will give you a shout out. Let's start this. I will give you a shout out on your page if you hashtag Saturday Love and tell me who sings the song. It's a trick question, so you got to pay attention to really who sings it. I know. I know.
You know.
Let the games begin. I don't care if he gets hashtag 15 times. He will see it and he's going to shake his head going,
okay. That's all I can say is
okay. And we are now, I think we got it covered for all the people we like to shout out. Oh, Jesus. Hold on. What's wrong with me? Other shout out, Paul Ash, my comedy mentor, right? I maybe I'm the Anakin to his Yoda. I don't know. I mean, I'm dark, but I'm not that dark. Let's just put it this way. Paul Ash, look him up. He's doing a lot of stuff. So he does live comedy. He shows up. He's done commercials. He's doing TV spots. And he has a show called BattleCom, right? Which is a nerd game show, which has got live participation when it goes out once every 2 weeks on a Monday. And he has They Talk Funny, which is an interview show about comedians. And he has The Check-In, which is another show. It comes on around noon. All these shows are live when they come out on different days. So I think it's Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday or Sunday, which is his schedule. And on top of it, he's doing comedy in between that. So big shout out to Paul Ash. You've seen him on the show. Go back, look up our episode with Grimjack, and you will see, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Paul Ash. Yeah.
That's it. Good. That's good enough.
That's good enough. All right.
Okay.
And of course, any of the guests we had during our March Madness, I put their links of where you can find them in the show, on our YouTube channel. So, and shared on media. So please go down, check them out. And listen, always wait to the end of the episode, see the flow code, scan it. Or for those watching right now, you can see in Rod's name, there's a little circle with a code on there. Scan it, and it'll pop up on your phone. You can't go wrong. Let's get down to it.
Let's do it.
Get down on it. We are talking about the Fantastic Four today. No, we're not. No. We are talking about the UFOs.
UFOs? Yeah. You didn't say watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
I said UFOs.
All right. You talking about UFO. It's UFOs. All right. Keep on.
Mofo is when someone cuts me off in traffic. Right. UFO is who we talking about today.
Okay, I catch it. All
right, man. All right. I know sometimes I kind of, eat my words, so to speak. So yeah. And a lot of you are probably going out there going, huh? What, the UFOs? So first of all, the UFOs are villains by Marvel. There's 4 of them, which goes into our April of 4.
Let's
The
go.
4 horsemen, right? Yeah, right. Exactly. So this is where it comes down. So the UFOs were created and they made their first appearance. So first of all, the UFOs were created and made their first appearance in December of 1980 in Volume 2 of The Incredible Hulk, issue 254.
Right on.
Bring it back. We're going way back.
We're going back.
Right. And they were made by obviously some people that I really like in there. So first of all, one of the people that helped create them was Bill Mantlo. Bill Mantlo was also a creator of one of my favorite comic books of all time, The Micronauts.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that one day. And then of course the art was being done by Sal oh my gosh, Buscema. Sal Buscema. Basima. Thank you. See, once again, I ate my words. Sal Buscema. So Sal Buscema, Bill Mantlo, they were the ones who created the UFOs in that Hulk issue 254. Sal was actually drawing it, but they worked on it and put that together. And then they actually had a little bit of extra help, which they actually credited in the original issue. So if you're reading it, you'll see that they give credits to Al Malagorm, who helped design the costumes, and then the editor-in-chief at the time, Jim Shooter, right on, helped come up with the names of the UFOs. And you find out that the name of the UFOs was inspired by 1979 Graham Parker's song, right? Waiting for the UFOs. Reason is that they were playing this. So they, as anyone, if you're in the creative arts or you're in the office, you always have your headphone in listening to something. They had music playing in the background. They had this music playing in the background, right? Respect the DJ.
Come on. Respect the DJ.
That's right. Respect the DJ. DJs had it tough now. Now DJs got a little bit easier because they don't got to carry around milk crates with 12-inch vinyls in them. That's why you see DJs like Terminator X from Public Enemy was this big guy, arms,
Right.
Oh yeah, or had a lot of friends.
Yes, I want to get in the party. Okay, hold that crate. Okay.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
that's the one you get it in. That's the way you get it in. Right on.
You can't, man. Right. Shout out to our boy Donovan. Right. Okay. Yeah. Drags to riches. That's it. That's my boy right there. So he knows the deal. Hold this one record till you're bringing it in for me. I need it for a mix. Okay. Got to get past the guest list. Old school. So this team was created by them. This is what it made. They made their first appearance, as I said, in issue 254 in 1980. And it has 4 members in it. The 4 members, their names were that's it. So it was Ironclad, Vapor, Vector, and X-Ray. X. And pretty much they're very similar by the Fantastic Four. They don't even try to hide that in the issue. Right.
Yeah, no. Yeah, they definitely didn't hide it because the whole concept was that when they were created, they were trying to they had like a project to actually try to mimic the same accident that created a Fantastic Four. So you can clearly understand they went in purposely.
Yes.
To get bombarded.
Yes.
Bombarded by cosmic rays. Oh, yes. I just take a, ooh, that hurts. Ooh, that hurts. I'm personally like say,
give it to me. Give me the pin.
Yeah. God help your soul.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
Well, that's it. I mean, I think everything in the Marvel universe happens by radiation, some form of radiation, cosmic rays, gamma rays, radioactive spider. I've stood in front of my microwave. I took the door off my microwave and I stood there. I put it on for 4 minutes thinking I would get a superpower. And all I got was, 3rd-degree burns in private. So let's not talk about that. So.
Ay, caramba.
Yeah, I don't know till you try it, right? I've seen the movie Jackass. They tried some stuff, didn't work. Some stuff did. Now they're rich. So they turned around and mimicked the whole thing with this Fantastic Four. So what we had is, okay, once again, we know I'm going to mess up the name, right? This is why my parents gave me a very simple name. So Simon,
your trick.
Thank you very much. Simon Urtrick was the main person who started all this. So Simon is a former politician, a multimillionaire, and he's the one that funds the whole operation for them making the rocket ship at a private base, and then getting a team of 3 people. So he has, one person is supposed to work life support, another person is supposed to be the pilot, and another person kind of monitoring the radiation. Now, on purpose, when he had the ship built and designed, it was designed by a guy named Mike Steele. And Mike Steele was a very big, buff guy. And he was the scientist of the group, but also a pilot. And he was told to design the ship with no shielding for cosmic rays. That was what, Simon was, and to show you how much money Simon had, it was actually a rival to Tony Stark. So he's up there with buku bucks.
Gotcha.
And made this. And the funniest thing is, so they turn around, they do this, they talk, they say, okay, this is what they do. So you have the other 2 members of there, so it was Simon, it was Mike Steele, and then it was another, once again, brother and sister that was on the team. This is hilarious. Older sister, younger brother. Very, very, very Fantastic Four-ish at the time. Right? So I'll just go by the superhero name. So, Vapor and X-Ray were there. Were the brother and sister of the team. And it seemed at times that Vapor and Simon, prior to getting their powers, seemed to have some kind of romantic relationship going on at the moment. Just very slight. They never really kind of got into it too much. So when they're having this conversation of saying, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to go with and carry forth, are you with it? Right. And the whole time Mike Steele was the one who decided to say, no, I'm not going up there. You guys are crazy. You asked me to build this ship. And Simon's like, well, I asked you to build it, not because I wanted a toy or something. I plan on using it. Just thought you were a person that had some cojones. And it's almost like calling him chicken, like Marty McFly, right? Nobody calls me chicken. I'll fly it. Oh, okay. And that's how the whole thing starts for them to go and get on this ship and, take off to the stars to purposely get bombarded, because Simon wanted power. He had power as a politician. He had power as a business owner, and he wanted more power. He looked at the Fantastic Four and thought they were a waste. They didn't use their powers to profit for themselves. He didn't like the fact that they were, helping mankind in very selfless acts. So really, totally opposite with what he wanted to do in his outlook. And obviously, the other 3 kind of went along with this, saying, well, yeah, we'll have powers too. So it wasn't really a twist of deep conversation. These people were not good people to begin with. And I like to think they could have given more of a backstory. And then they end up making their first appearance. And you're wondering, out of all places, the Hulk, you think logically, this is something that could have built up in the Fantastic Four. Right? And it's not the Hulk did not have run-ins with the Fantastic Four, but he did. So it starts off in issue 254, page 1. You have the Hulk in the middle of the desert screaming at the stars. Why won't you give me answers? Why do you take Hulk's friends away for what happened in the previous storyline? Hulk can have no friends, And then he thinks, well, wait, Hulk can't hear what the stars are saying because the stars are too far. So in Hulk fashion, I'm going to jump to the stars so they can talk to me.
Okay.
Pretty much Good Hulk thinking, wanted to get high. I want to get high,
so high. I want to get high. Okay, sorry. So high.
Right? He should have hung with Snoop Dogg. So Hulk, boom, takes off. He does a couple of leaps, and each leap gets him further and further to the point he hits a low orbit. Hulk's not realizing he's in outer space, can't breathe. Kind of hunches over, starts freezing, and then gravity slowly brings him back. He crash lands back on Earth.
Yep.
Why is this important? Because when he crash lands back on Earth, he's back in the desert. He's Hulk, but then since he's unconscious, he calms down. He changes back to Bruce Banner. He's still unconscious, but then a couple of 100 yards away is the building with the rocket ship. So when the rocket takes off, the rumbling wakes up Bruce Banner. He looks, where am I? Hey, is that a rocket ship? Oh, it took off. What's going on? Hey, there's nobody here at this so-called base. It's all automated and abandoned, it seems. he runs in there in his purple pants because that's how the Hulk wore right there.
Always purple.
Yeah, that was it was colored purple, and they seem to be stretchy pants. So okay, and he ran in there, and then he sees like all these monitors, and he sees on the monitor that the spaceship is out there in the atmosphere, and it's going through, not even bombarded by cosmic rays. It's a cosmic storm because Simon wanted to absorb more power so he could be more powerful than the Fantastic Four.
Ay, caramba. Yeah. Good old Simon.
But it was killing him.
I'll take the hit, people. I'll take the hit.
It was killing him. I'm like, I don't know what you were thinking, Simon. You know, Simon says no, but it was killing him. So Bruce sees this, sees what's going on, says, I have to save them. You know, Simon gets up. They've been bombarded. He trips over. Canisters are exploding on the ship. Bruce Banner's on Earth, reprograms the ship to come and land on Earth. And then it's like, oopsies. The ship crash lands. And he's like, well, nobody can survive. I tried my best to save him. No one can survive. And of course, 4 mysterious figures come out from the flames and smoke. The UFOs.
UFO.
Right? I mean, let's put it this way. They call themselves UFOs. It's like Fantastic Four. It's like 4 of us and we're fantastic. UFOs. Well, they're named after Simon Urtrick because his name starts with a U. Right. But they could have gone use something else, but no, UFOs, which means they know, you already know they're bad.
They're going from the evil side of the line. Yeah. I'm on the evil side of the lane.
Right.
Yeah, I'll stay in my lane. Right on.
Right. and they come out and, you know, Bruce Banner's, you know, it's like, oh my gosh, you guys survived. And then all of a sudden they seem to jump Bruce Banner. Right. So X-Ray comes up and hits him. First Vector, which is Simon, throws a rock with telekinesis, repels, changes the vector, hits him off the head, knocks him unconscious. Ironclad, all metal, and he increases mass, grabs Bruce Banner, starts hugging him and holding him tighter. It's like Elvira with their, I'll love him and pet him. Yeah. And they're just holding him like Tiny Toons. And then X-Ray bombards him with radiation, with X-rays. And it's like, oh, geez, we killed him. And they're like, well, Ironclad's words, well, human laws don't apply to us because we're not human anymore. What are they going to do? Throw us in jail? We're too strong.
Foolish water.
But then you see in 3 panels. Panel 1, it's Bruce Banner. Ironclad's still holding him, having this talk. Panel 2, it's Bruce Banner with a slight shade
touch of green.
Touch of green.
Hey.
Touch of green.
The Irish is coming out of the laddie. All right, then.
Yeah.
Come, lad.
And then panel 3, it's a lot more green on him. He's a lot bigger, but he's still changing. And Ironclad's like, hey, what's going on? This guy's changing. And all here is,
too heavy.
Yeah. And the funniest thing to me is, Hulk doesn't want to be held. Nobody holds Hulk.
Let me go.
And punches him and sends him flying. And it's then that Simon's like, oh my gosh, I should have recognized that, I didn't see him at first, but a shirtless, and he says it in one sentence, a shirtless man in the middle of the desert who knows physics and science. It should have been obvious to me that it was Bruce Banner.
Hilarious.
Right? It's like I see a homeless guy on a secure base running out here talking science, turning green. Of course, it's Bruce Banner.
What was I thinking?
Well, I should have recognized him from the get-go. We attacked the Hulk. Uh-oh.
Yeah, first run, he played with the Hulk. You're gonna get burned.
Yeah. So they all start on. I don't know why they want to start with the Hulk.
Foolish mortals. I don't know.
Well, they're a little bit too big for their britches. Clearly they able to get 5 across the eyes.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And what I found funny with the UFOs is, and Rod, you mentioned this before. You can take this part here. Their powers. They crash land, just got their powers, and
so let's see now. So we start off with Simon. Simon has the ability to use his telekinetic powers. Shooting out from the causes where he has telekinetic powers. He's enormously powerful.
Yes.
And by focusing his powers into blast, he has the capability of flaying most of the Hulk skin. This is on their first little run. and muscle tissue, from his body. So he's just very powerful with his with cosmic rays, telekinetic powers. Vapor, she has the ability of turning into like, I remember there is someone who has something similar. But basically, Vapor has, like her name, like names kind of implies, Vapor, gas type of environment. She can turn her body, her molecular structure into any type of gaseous form. Um, because she's on the evil side of the life and she stay on the evil side of the lane, she kind of
Yeah.
prefers to give people a little poisonous gas. Not good, not good, Here, she don't want to give people an opportunity to breathe. She want to choke people out.
Yep.
Okay, Vapor. We'll have a discussion in tomorrow's session for that. Thank you very much. Uh, X-Ray. Well, basically, as in the boy's name, he just called himself. He's simple enough. He just went with the name X-Ray. You know what? Pause. We went into the power, but I didn't get a chance to say the names of who these people are. So let me just back up. So
Oh, okay.
Vector is Simon. So Utrecht, that's
Yes.
Simon. He was the leader of the wonderful band.
Right.
Then we have Vapor. Her name is Anne Darnell.
Yes.
And then we have X-Ray. His name is Jimmy Darnell, who is the younger brother of Anne.
Right.
And X-Ray has the ability, like I said, to give off, let's say, negative gamma rays. And basically, he has any form of radiation. He has the ability to control it and just manipulate it and expel any forms of like radiation in potential blast mode, and just bust a, "Oh, you okay?" on you.
Yep.
Instead of, come on, that's really your chest. Oh, man. So now we could see that even if you had the X-ray fray that you normally wear when you go to the dentist or anything like that, that ain't going to save you. He going to hurt you bad. You going to get burned up.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got our last person, as Barry said. His name is Ironclad, and his name was Mike Steels. Mike Steele has the ability to transform himself into organic metal. Basically similar like the Absorption Man.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very, very simple there.
And
So
even his early appearance, they even let him increase his density so he can make himself heavier.
Correct.
Right. But what blows my mind is first issue, they walk out first panel, see Bruce Banner, and they use their powers.
So you know exactly what you were getting there, Simon? Simon boy. I know you think you are a Doctor Doom level type of person. No. Doom will know what he's doing and be able to say, I want this particular type of thing. But you're not Doom. As we talked about earlier, there's only one Doctor Doom. So you think you can walk in your plane, your ship crash landed, you can walk away. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
You played yourself and you walked out safely, but you know exactly what you knew? Well, I agree with you. That's one of my little, okay, I know what to do with what I got. At least this is what I love. The other people that they're kind of mimicking, the Fantastic Four, they I think I'm Milton. The man is starting to stretch in it. His Mr. Fantastic didn't have his control of his powers right away.
No.
Susie came in kind of like halfway, like invisible. What's going on? I'm confused. Where am I? Johnny started flaming up and burning everybody.
Yep.
And Benjamin Grimm, Mr. Thing, he was just like, I'm Rock. Well, it's obvious, but they didn't know. But we got the UFOs coming out and the UFOs and I knew what to do. But I digress.
Yeah, man. And that's what got me. Is like they first came out and right away they know how to use their powers perfectly. It's like, I'm Vector. I can move these things automatically. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. How did your powers? You didn't even test, right? It's like giving your child a car. Here's the keys. Don't worry about it. I know you know how to drive because why? You touch the keys. The keys hold the power. No, you put anyone behind a car, they ain't gonna know how to drive, and it's not even driving normal, defensive driving. That ain't going to happen. So they start using their powers perfectly. Like X-Ray automatically knows he can fly. I mean, the only person that should have an idea about their powers to me is Ironclad. He's metal, he's strong. Yeah, you can walk, you can pick things up. Okay, now it's easier to pick certain things up. I get that. You're made of metal, so you can take a punch. I get that. But for the other ones, like you were saying before, you figure it'd be more trial and error learning the power. So at the beginning of the fight, they seem to be a well-seasoned team. But then partway through the fight, you see they kind of shaft each other, throwing each other under the bus.
Shoot, what did I just do? Dang it, sorry, Ann.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, that's it, because at one point, Anne goes flying towards Jimmy. So, Vapor goes flying towards X-Ray, and she was making herself a poison. She goes, "Don't worry about it. I'll change my body mass into hydrogen, and I'll go pass through you." And Jimmy's like, "No, I'm X-rays. You will burn."
Skin, the skin, the skin. Yeah.
Right?
You gonna burn out, man. You gonna burn out.
Exactly. The only time Vector turns around and shows any kind of emotion is when he goes to run towards Anne. So Simon goes to run towards Anne, and then his power just causes everything to push back away from him, so he can't even get close to her. Right? Ironclad's like, "Whatever, man. I'm still metal." So I get their introduction into the Marvel universe. Obviously, they're going to be tied to the Hulk for how things started, right? Because they're going to blame the Hulk for crashing, because their whole thing was Bruce Banner's like, "I saved you." And Simon was like, no, we wanted to stay up longer, because the more exposed we got to the cosmic storm, the higher our power levels would have been. So we would have been even stronger. You stopped us from getting stronger. We want revenge. It's Marvel. It's like wrestling. Love it. Right. So this is where the two ideologies come head to head. So they show up multiple times fighting the Hulk over the years. They show up in multiple issues, always trying to get the Hulk. They get brought into a lot of different storylines, which we won't get into, bringing the Hulk in. At one point they trying to deal with the Avengers. They've had appearances in some of the cartoons on TV, even background and all that. So some of the animated, they've been there. The UFOs are there. What blows my mind is they never went after Fantastic Four, or vice versa. That, to me, I think is a whole storyline that is missed, because I think, one, they're villains. So the Fantastic Four is like, well, they kind of model themselves after us. We should stop them, which to me is grounds one. But then the other interesting part would have been is Reed would be like, "I don't want to experiment on my friend. If I can capture UFOs and come up with a device to take away the cosmic radiation from them, I can cure Ben."
Right.
Because one, that means I save humanity from these superpowered criminals. And then two, I can turn around, put it on Ben. And then we just have to find another person to join the Fantastic Four permanently before we have to change our name to the Terrific Trio.
You know what? It's hilarious that you say that along that line, because as we know what's going down with Doctor Strange right now, with the Illuminati aspect of it coming in, one of the main reasons why they created the Illuminati they created because of the basically the crisis of the multiverse coming together. But the other aspect of also was when they're sending the Hulk away.
Yes.
Realizing he was a threat to the Earth. So they came together to send Hulk/Banner away. Yeah. Now, if you realize that these guys are a major danger, Reed, because Reed was the one who kind of took point on that particular mission. Why he brought up a good point. That's a miss opportunity to put these two together. Then giving Reed the ability to realizing you guys are trying to be, you are a yin to our yang. If we're the good Fantastic Four, you're the bad Fantastic Four. Then it's my job, my responsibility, because I'm the closest person. My team is the closest one on this whole entire planet, who have a good idea of what you've gone through, how to deal with you, and how to basically take you down. And AKA, now we capture you. Now I can, per se, take my sole mission of helping my friend. I can use those techniques on you to basically revert you back to human form, and basically like, okay, I know how to do. Okay, Benny, just drink this. Don't drink so much, Benny. Just drink a couple of sips of this, Benny. Just drink a couple of sips of this, Benny. You'll be all right, man. Trust me, man. Trust me. I'm Reed. Come on. I'm Reed. Come on. Trust your man, Reed. Come on. Trust your boy, Reed.
Trust
Reed. That'll be it.
That's it. And not once did they really go after the Fantastic Four, or vice versa. Especially when I read books like Thunderbolts, right? When they had the Thunderbolts, where it was all supervillains, but they dressed up as superheroes to pretend they were a superhero team. So this way they were still able to do things, but like underhanded, like dirty cops, so to speak, and get away with it. And that was a smart idea. It's like, hey, man, for once we're being good guys. People like us. We're still doing our schemes on the side. No one knows we're villains because we've given each other new names now, new looks, and They're buying it up. Oh, now we're part of the government. Okay, this is great. You know,
I got benefits. I can fix my teeth. Let's go.
thank you. That's very important in the Marvel universe, or even in DC, because a lot of them get their teeth punched out. Dentists must be making a fortune over there. So with this being said, I know at one point Peter Gyrick turns around and he had Omega Flight, and he wanted Omega Flight to go after the Hulk, and they said, well, we don't like the way you talk to us, you disrespect us, Peter Gyrick, you're a douche, we're out. And he turned around and hired the UFOs once again to go after the Hulk in New Jersey. It started off in New York, then the fight went to New Jersey and then came back. How is it that you in New York fighting the Hulk and the Fantastic Four ain't gonna go, hey, what's happening outside? Oh, wait a minute, we know one and we heard about the other four. We're going to team up with the Hulk to finally take these guys down. I think, once again, that was a total missed opportunity. It's still a fight I want to see happen. And I think they should give us a little bit more background for these characters. I mean, they might seem like small characters, but they were only, but the potential is so big.
They weren't utilized as properly. And definitely in that particular episode, the issue that they came from, it was really more at the time. Was kind of like one and done. And yes, they were able to regroup and reset themselves for future events, future episodes, like say the Avengers, like you said, and so forth.
Right.
But that particular one was more of like a spot on. And I guess, Marvel was just trying to test the waters. I see how people, pull towards these characters and see if we can work something with them, which worked out. Like you said, having the opportunity, if you really think of it, is the evil doppelganger of the first family.
Yeah. Marvel's first family, exactly. They're the evil doppelganger of that, and that's where I think it was a missed opportunity, especially if you look at the background they've given these characters, right? So if we go with Simon was a politician, he's a multimillionaire, okay, and obviously he has powers. So let's just stay on this aspect. Let's put it, he's the one that funded the whole thing to get the rocket to go up there, right? Okay, he's the one that got the team together, right?
It's the Tony Stark of him.
Exactly, Tony Stark level. He doesn't have the genius, but he's got the money, okay? Right. So now let's look at what, to me, it could have been. If he's got that driving force to kind of, obviously he's a leader because he's able to get people together. Obviously he's a politician. You see the character that he has, the kind of person he is. He's made some backroom deals. He knows some people in the underground, right? You're trying to tell me that this guy that has all this money and influence and has to know people just by assumption, couldn't work out a better deal for his new team to work out a certain way. Like, we know if the Illuminati is around in Marvel, and that's Xavier, Reed Richards, Doctor Strange, right? Black Bolt. All of them are there and they're good guys. You're trying to tell me that the bad guys don't have that? Clearly they do, because we know they had that whole vengeance storyline, right?
Right.
Acts of vengeance. So I'm thinking the UFOs could have had their own little network, put themselves up at the top of that power scheme, worked more behind the scenes, come out to do certain things. And why fight the Fantastic Four? He's got money. So he should be, where Reed has the intelligence, he can hire or bribe people to get a certain way to help them out. Even, I mean, he made a rocket base because he had the money for it, and no one questioned this until after they got their powers. So either it's a fight for him to get back in there to see, hey, can we amplify our powers and what happens? I really think the UFOs are underutilized, and they have so much more potential if they are given into the hands of a writer. Don't make them anti-heroes, anti-villain, anti-heroes or heroes, right? I still want them as hardcore villains. They fought, I mean, it was them fighting Spider-Man and Scarlet Spider. Sorry. Spider-Man and not Scarlet Spider. It was Ben, his clone there. Was it? Yeah, it was Scarlet Spider.
Yeah, Scarlet Spider. Yeah.
All right, so he was fighting them, and they were the ones that gave Peter Parker radiation poisoning at one point, where he had to go into the hospital, and then his clone / brother gave up the Scarlet Spider and became Spider-Man for that time being while Peter was recovering. So they do have an influence on certain storylines to advance, right? Peter Parker should deal with them more. Fantastic Four, absolutely. Hulk, I get it for how they put their origin together. Absolutely. The Thunder, they could turn around and get rid of the Fantastic Four and then say, hey, we're the new Fantastic Four or something. They worked with the government already with Peter Gyrick. So they have a lot of ties. And, it should have been more, in my opinion, like the Hellfire Club, right? You look at Sebastian Shaw.
Right.
Sebastian Shaw
That's
has
another
so
one.
many business dealings that even when the X-Men show up into the Hellfire Club in New York and they fought, one of the first times where it was during the Dark Phoenix saga, the cops showed up. It's like, yeah, we're just going to leave. Don't worry about it. Yeah, these X-Men broke into our party and this is what they did. No problem, Mr. Shaw. Because he's got so much money that he sees respected.
Money
but
talks,
we,
man.
as the fans, the readers, know he's the villain. But he's so good of a villain that even the good guys don't even know. Like when I say the good guys, the police officers and the fire department don't know he's a villain. They just know he's a multimillionaire. They have no idea that he's got powers. He's a mutant and he's trying to get rid of the X-Men. He was the one that started the fight. The X-Men were in the right, in every instance of the word. But the Hellfire Club played it so well that it's like, yeah, he's guilty. Simon should be the whole aspect of, us as a fans know what's going on. But if the glove don't fit, must have quit.
Loving it.
Everyone knows, where you were standing about that whole case with OJ, but he's free. Right? I'm not endorsing it. I'm not saying I agree with it. We know where OJ should be, and we know where he is right now. And that's how this one should be. We know where the UFOs are, but to me, they should be portrayed in a way that you can't touch me. I got millions. Right. I got lawyers. You can't touch me. What? Throw me in jail? Prove it. That's my point.
No. It's a good point. You were bringing some points and making me think like, we're going to get to the point, everybody. We're going to get to the part of our normal discussion where we're going to get to the point where we're going to, we're just going to cast this. But before we get to that, I want to make a point that if you really think of it, the Marvel universe hasn't portrayed any type of villain movies.
No.
Any villain teams type of movie, not even single. Like you can have an individual, everybody, everybody's pairing off. But why can't we have a UFOs movie? Even if you want to do it as a standalone type of series on Disney Plus or anything like that, that's not a bad idea. Because when you said that, I thought of that, and then you went straight to Sebastian. Like, ooh, that's another parody that you can definitely be safe. Why? Like when they bring in the X-Men, that will probably be a great segue that they can just lean in and say, you know what? Anybody will look at this and anybody looking on the surface, like, so we're doing a villain movie? Interesting. They'll start off with interesting.
Yeah.
Then the fans be like, oh my God, you just went left. You went a hard left. I didn't get to put my seatbelt on. And this is a good left. Like I would never, you won't expect to have a villain movie.
No.
And those will be going. You could do the introduction again with the UFOs, if not having their own, which would be great if they could. We can work along that line. But put them in something where you can center and say, hey, not every single time the bad guys have to lose.
Exactly.
They gotta get away. They got like at some certain point, every villain is getting caught. Then we're gonna run out of storylines. Someone got to win. They got to get away, and literally let them get away and realize, I got to work on my approach and realize, okay, next time I see them, I don't parry, or whatever the case to be.
Instead of zig, I got to zag.
You zig or zag.
Yeah,
you're giving the heroes the opportunity that, let them know, and then we can, it's like you said with comedy, you put that comedy seed and you refer it back later on, a couple of episodes, a couple of jokes later, you bring it back. Like, so you remember like two movies before, I should have zigged when I zag. Now I'm zagging. Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. And you hit it right on the head. You hit that right on the head. That's my discussion. That's my point right here. Because I know there, and I know people can say, oh, well, there's Marvel villain movies. And I'm like, okay, first of all, they made Venom an anti-hero, right? You didn't make Venom the villain. Venom wasn't we as fans know Venom as a villain. He really took Spider-Man to the paces. But in the movie, right? I enjoyed it, but he was an anti-hero. So I know they're coming out with Kraven, but I know they're going to make Kraven an anti-hero. Right now, the next one is Morbius. but you can see Morbius is going to be an anti-hero, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, it's like, to me, that's the Punisher class. Those are heroes that operate in that shade of gray. But a true villain movie, like bad guys, like Suicide Squad, they were villains trying to do something, but it's going to be a lot of shafting and backstabbing throughout that whole movie.
Right. But they were doing a heroic type of atmosphere anyways.
Yes.
So it wasn't like they weren't trying to go, like you said, you had backstab. Captain Boomerang was thinking, okay, we're going to get through this, get the heist, whatever the case may be, still had an evil mindset.
Mm-hmm.
But the outcome of what they've done was an anti-hero that was saved the city from this mysterious, entrances, which is going to take over the world. Well, okay, at this time, we're just going to put our evil stuff aside and try to save the world. Second one was Starro, type of scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Try to save the world. That's it. It wasn't for them to say, let's, plunder and just like get all the money we can, rob, get back to the base, and let's say, okay, let's split the spoils, and that's it. And then end scene, Act 3 done. What? You mean he got away? Yeah. Because in reality, people, let's be real for half a second.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to be a supervillain, you're going to dish out all this money and do all this thing. You're going to have these powers. You tell me you're going to constantly lose every single time and think, what is it worth? Why? I will give up the same way they did with, oh my gosh. Well, I don't know if I'm bringing up that parody with the Black and Captain America. Why am I? I can see why.
Right.
Blank. It starts with B.
Bradley, right?
Yeah. Yes. He gave up because it's not worth it. I did all this for my country. It's not worth it, so I just kind of gave up. Oh, villain's not going to do that.
No.
Listen, I got stuff to do. I want that stack. I want that money. I need to be good. So I mess up on this heist. I'm going to do another one. I'm going to mess up the heist and do another one. Look,
exactly.
The only villain we know who's like that per se in comic book aspect that they wish they portrayed him properly. We're flipping over to DC, but the Joker is the only one who constantly, every single time, he may fail, but give me 20 minutes. Let me just regain myself. I'm coming for you, Bats. This is Tuesday. I'm gonna get you by Friday. I got something. I had something in the works and I was waiting for next month. Nah, frig it. We're doing this early, guys. We're doing it by Friday. Okay, boss. Yeah. That's villain aspiration. I ain't got no time to sleep.
No, he enjoys what he does, right? And that's
that's what we need the villains to do. That we need to find a movie that does that. Basically, if you can have a movie like that, I honestly believe that it will do good for the culture. Fans, like those who are getting into the Marvel universe in this type of comic movie world, they're going to like it. The fans, that's a deep cut, and they will be giving you golf claps.
Absolutely.
Bravo.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I think that, and rest in peace, Razor Ramon. It's been a while now that he's passed away. But he said in his Hall of Fame speech, bad times come and go, but bad guys are forever. Okay, let's these are bad guys.
Talk about it. My goodness. I forgot that line, Laser. Yeah.
Right.
That was a line. That was a line. You had to like, okay, he's right. You could get vexed if you want, but like that makes sense.
Yep. In the world,
I'm supposed to be a bad guy.
Parallels, man. So because one, we never find out, from the get-go. They that whole team, the UFOs, wanted power.
Yeah.
Power for now.
Why?
We know they wanted power.
Why?
Exactly. Why? That there is a question. Why? Why do they want this power? Obviously, if you get power, it's because you want to achieve a goal. So we don't know what that goal is. I don't think they've ever really got into it. Not that early. They just said wanted power like Fantastic Four. They squandered their power. We're going to use our power for what? There's got to be. Give me something that's an end game. So here's how it is. We go cast this here. I'm gonna come up with my my team here and show you who I was thinking for my 4.
Got it.
And then we can go from there. So if I had to cast this as a live action movie, and this goes for a live action movie, which would be cool. Or and then I give this some more thought. I'd even be happy, like, how they had Hulk versus, so it's Hulk versus Wolverine and Hulk versus Thor. It was a one DVD. I'd be even happy with Hulk versus, let's do some more Hulk versus, or as an animated series, cartoon, or instead of just kind of keeping it to Hulk, I'm still with the idea as, Marvel Presents or Marvel Premiere or Marvel Spotlight. Take one of the past names, let's bring that back and say Marvel Spotlight one on. It's still animated or even live action, with the UFOs, for example, right? Let's make people interested in them again and kind of branch that out. So, and the actors I picked can do a live action, or I would see them doing the voice work.
Got it.
Right. So here's mine. Mine's a twofer. So I would start off first for Simon. It would be, so as Vector, it would be John Hamm.
Okay. Yes.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Right. He's got that. He can be good or bad. And I like when he's a little bit bad and cheeky. I think he can dig deep on that. John Hamm. Right. So John Hamm is who I would see as Vector. Now, building the team around that, I got into this whole Madman thing. So I went with John Hamm. Right. For Vapor, I would say January Jones, the actress. Right.
No, I'm trying to pull her up right
No
now.
problem. You go ahead and you pull her up. So John Hamm, January Jones for as I said, Vapor. To play her brother X-Ray, I was going with Ansel Elgort. Ansel Elgort.
And
so that's who yeah.
Okay.
His
name sounds familiar.
Like when he smiles, he looks kind of, he's got a nice smile. But when he's got a serious face, when he poses, he's not smiling. I mean, he looks like he could play someone wicked. So that's who I'm going with.
Baby Driver.
Yeah,
Baby Driver. Right. Got it.
Yeah. And then for Mike Steele's Ironclad, I'm going with J.R. Ferguson. So he's also from Mad Men, and he showed up on the Connors. So
let's see.
That's my team for the UFOs.
Okay. Not bad. I'm not familiar with JR's work. Right. But you did say he was on
he was on Mad Men and he was on the Connors. So clearly he can do comedy and he can do drama. If you see his look, sometimes he has a beard, sometimes he's shaved, his hair maybe a little bit darker.
Oh, you know what? I went to IMDb. I see the non-bearded one.
Right.
Okay, so I can see with that then. Okay.
Yeah. If you picture their first appearance, what they look like in human form, this is who I know how they wrote Drew Simon. He looked older, but I didn't want him that old. I needed someone still to have, but have some cojones. So John Hamm, January Jones, Ansel Elgort, and J.R. Ferguson. Jay Ferguson. Okay. That's my UFO team, be it live action or animated, and they do the voices. Boom.
Okay. Nice. All right. You know what? I see you. I see your UFO. I see your UFOs. Kudos. I believe I might be able to match.
Uh-oh.
We'll see. Well, okay. Everybody, you'll be the judge, and you let me know. All right. So we're gonna start it off with the man they call Simon Leader. I was gonna go with Army Hammer. Now,
okay.
I was going with Army definitely because of being the business, but the business, multi-billionaire or whatever the case. But it's that trigger side. You said the perfect thing earlier. We don't know why he wants power. He could be a little bit like, just like there's a deeper meaning. There's a dark meaning behind him. So when you see Army as Ilya on The Man from U.N.C.L.E.,
yes,
that's where you're like saying, you look at him, you're like saying, boy, you are just 3 words away from just snapping someone's neck. Cool it down. Cool it
3 words
down.
away from snapping someone's
3
neck.
words away, guys. So you know that he's just like, I won't mess with you. So I was taking that he has this ability that, he could play that dark person and then be able to go deeper to say, this is the reason why I want power and so forth. Now to be his Vapor, I wanted to, and I'm going to say because again, Vapor is the older sister of X-Ray.
Yes.
So I wanted to have that different age dynamic. And I, I went with someone who was a seasoned person. Please, please, don't say it like this, but I'm just saying because you understand the metaphor of where we're going. I wanted Reese Witherspoon.
Oh.
I wanted Reese Witherspoon because at least in the sense she has some comic type of, experience working
Legally
as
Blonde and all that. Yeah.
Legally Blonde, but Legally Blonde, but AKA
Down home.
That girl as well.
Oh no, so Lisa. Sorry, Lisa. Sorry, I'm thinking. Okay, sorry, Lisa Silverstone. Okay, yeah. Clueless. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, Clueless.
Wrong movie. I correct.
Yeah. No, you know what? You're right. Right.
Oh.
So I want to go with Reese. I wanted to go with Reese because of that one, because she's legally whatever the case may be, but she can be a little like you said, a little high sprung kind of scenario, but she has the ability to know. I just think that she could pull that off to be a little like. You see in the pictures, you have the face structure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Still, she's a gorgeous looking woman and everything.
She could be bad.
She could be bad. So I wanted to give her that, and then for her brother, I wanted to go for Jimmy. I wanted to go with Aaron Paul. If you remember Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad, Need for Speed,
yes,
Westworld,
yes.
He's done a good amount of stuff. So I'm now also going from the fact that this is supposed to be, as I stated earlier, this is supposed to be the evil duper gang of the Fantastic Four. So I'm basing it off of like that as well.
Right.
So you got the nice looking Sue Richards, and now you have Viper, who may be pretty, but she's on the dark side. Jimmy is supposed to be arrogant and everything along that line. Sorry, Johnny was arrogant and stuff along that line.
Right.
So you know what? We're just gonna say, well, what if you were the evil worst of that? Being on Breaking Bad, being on Westworld. I mean, Aaron has the ability to pull that kind of like that type of character. He can pull deep from there.
Right.
Then I wanted to end it off with, okay, you said something earlier about your guy, because that's how he looked before he turned into Ironclad.
Uh-huh.
I said, you know what? As they say, let me go and quote, Ironclad is let me see the skill engineer, skill pilot, whatever the case, transform into organic metal, super strength and durability and stuff like that. So realizing, I need someone who can be strong. But guess what? In his already natural form, I wanted to go with, it's Thor Julius Brognos, aka the Icelander man known as the Mountain.
Oh, Jesus.
Game of Thrones.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
So as you see the pictures of Ironclad, he's just a big hulking, he's a big guy. So let's
no CG needed for him.
No CG needed for him at all. Just let's go. Put some silver on you, boy. You want to be a piece of metal. Okay. Crush.
Wow.
Crush the infidels. Kill them all. Mash them up. Foolish mortal, I will destroy you. Yes. So I went with the Mountain to bring in hail and thunder from above. The Mountain will take you out.
Jeez. Okay. So hold on. We're going to wrap this up because I want to do so. I'm going to go once again. So real quick for the UFOs, here's how I'm breaking it down. I'm going to go with John Hamm as Vector, January Jones as Vapor, Ansel Elgort as X-Ray, and J.R. Ferguson as Ironclad.
Ironclad.
And your team
is Army Hammer as Vector, Reese Witherspoon as Vapor, Aaron Paul as X-Ray, and Thor Julius Brosson as Ironclad.
Woo! Okay, well, I think we've did what we had to come and do today. That's our first of 4, and everyone look out. Next episode coming out is a special episode. We're hitting our milestone, so I mean we have more videos, but it will be our 50th podcast. We've hit 50 on our next one, so we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna plan something.
Something's on the table. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna do something. We're gonna do it. Tune in. Right?
Listen. Never forget. Put the comments below. Put those comments below.
Hit that like button and hit that share. If you like what you're hearing, so right, just spread it out and let everybody know. Hit the subscribe button so you get notifications. Because when the 50 comes around, you'll be ready. So just like, share, subscribe, comment in the base. Subscribe.
Exactly. On that note, as we like to say. One, thank you for all for tuning in. Keep supporting the show. Keep supporting all the people we ask you to support. Show some love. There's enough going around. We need it these times. On that, this whole world was started with a pencil, a piece of paper, and lots of imagination. Keep on dreaming. We're out.
We're out. You fool! You
What'd you say?
I just said UFOs, man. I just said UFOs.
UFOs. Okay. All right, then. We good.
Good? All right.